God's Love We Deliver is a New York City-based agency that provides meals to clients with life-threatening illnesses. The agency recently celebrated its 30th anniversary and now serves 5,000 meals each weekday with the assistance of 8,000 volunteers annually. Karen Pearl is the CEO and spoke with us about the agency's mission and business at their Brooklyn kitchen facility.
Karen Pearl, President and CEO, God's Love We Deliver. Our founder, a woman named Ganga Stone, one day was asked by a friend to deliver groceries to somebody who was dying of AIDS. She brought a bag of groceries, she put it on the counter, they got into a great conversation, and Ganga came back the next day to visit him, and those groceries were still sitting on the counter. And in that moment, she had, of course, the epiphany that said, when people are really sick and can't even get out of bed, groceries on a counter don't help. They need meals. And that started our long tradition, not only of bringing meals to people, but of getting volunteers to help us in that effort. And as the AIDS crisis changed when antiretrovirals became on the market, we realized that we'd learned so much about treating people with good nutrition who were ill that we could then apply that to people with all other life illnesses. And so we did that. We expanded our mission almost 15 years ago to people with all illnesses. Today we're serving 1.3 million meals to people with over 200 different diagnoses. And ironically, what we've learned about treating all those other illnesses now informs what we do with people living with HIV and AIDS, because as they have aged with the wonderful drugs that are available to them, they are getting other illnesses, heart disease, cancer, any number of things. And so we continually learn from our clients and always do more and more for them as we can. We've been doing a fair amount of research over this past year, partly on our own and partly with the help of some students from NYU's School of Public Service. And we've been looking at where are there illness groups and how is illness changing in New York City. And so we are analyzing that data now, and we know different populations that we want to target to make sure that we're meeting the need. God's Love has affiliation agreements with over 180 different organizations in New York City, from hospitals to treatment centers to other community-based organizations. We're very connected because while what we do is the nutrition that our clients need, they have many other needs as well, from healthcare to housing to just other supports in their lives, transportation. So we're very well connected. And what we do with everyone who calls on us is make sure that they have the other supports in their lives that they need us to be as healthy as they possibly can be. God's Love is about a month away from moving into our brand new, renovated, expanded home in Soho. And that presents for us great opportunity and challenges as we seek to figure out exactly how we are going to expand. But we've built a building that will allow us to double our services to the community, and we're going to figure out the most strategic way to do that, to be sure that we find the people in the greatest need of our service for the meals that we tailor for them. My message to fellow CEOs would be smart, be strategic, but be bold, because we're serving great need, all of us in the not-for-profit community, and we need to be sure that we are always leading and figuring out what the future needs are for our clients and jumping to that point.
Ms. Pearl also reflected on the fundraising and business demand side of the agency.
One of the things that is great about God's Love is that we've worked really hard to have a very diversified funding stream between individuals, events, foundations and corporations, and a few other areas like bequests. And so we are very, very fortunate because what we do is just so basic. God's Love has spent the last couple of years doing two things at the same time. One is supporting our annual fundraising, and the other is a capital campaign as we go to fulfill our dream of having our expanded home back in Soho at our wonderful site on the corner of 6th and Spring. And so that has presented some interesting challenges, but we have been making the case to our donors about how, because we have a core principle that says we are never going to turn anyone away who needs us, and because we've been growing and growing and growing, that we've needed more resources. And our donors have risen to that challenge, both on the expansion campaign side and on the annual side. So we are fortunate that we have grown our fundraising 5 to 10% a year after year. And it's really because of the nice mix that we have of individuals, corporations, events, all the different. So if somebody wants to give to God's Love, they can find a way that's really comfortable for them. I'm not sure that it matters about the range of service. I think two things matter. One is the quality of your service, and the other is the case that you make about it. So at God's Love, we don't take the position that other people have to research us. We take the position that we need to tell our story and tell the story of our clients and the story of our volunteers and the story of our growth. Why are we growing so much? We're growing so much because there's a huge need out there among people who are sick to have not just food, but to have good nutrition that is tailored to their circumstances that can help them best manage their disease. What we do is pretty simple. Some people will say, we feed sick people. That's kind of simple, but we feed them good, nutritious food that is tailored to their circumstances. And people appreciate that. Our donors like to hear that. And of course, we can go on. We can talk all about how do we do it. It's a very fascinating story operationally for people who want to hear our story. How do you get 1.3 million meals onto literally almost every single street in the 5 boroughs of New York City and some of the surrounding communities? It's complicated. And some people want to know a lot about that. But people don't usually ask about that until they really understand the very core of what we do. And that's making sure people get the nutrition they need. Relationships. People give to things that they understand, that they care about, that they know about. And so we all need to talk to our supporters and our donors and ask for their help meeting other people. It's, there's a lot of things written about good fundraising. I don't need to go there, but I do. It is all about people. People give to things that they care about. And the case in my position is to help people understand what we do in a way that helps them care about it.